David Bascome. Tomorrow we'll see the Harrisburg Heat um, retiring your jersey. It's been a long road for you. What does the retirement of your jersey for the Harrisburg Heat mean for your career?
It's definitely a great acknowledgement. With Harrisburg, obviously everybody knows that's the first place I started before I came down to the Baltimore Blast. In Harrisburg, I was in Harrisburg for actually 11 years, out of the 12. And, it's a great accomplishment for me, especially when you get a team, that's been around for a while that wants to retire your jersey. I was really shocked when they told me, because Harrisburg had actually been folded for the last 10 years. They just came back in the league, when the actually PASL, so when they gave me the call and, they're going to be doing most of the guys, about 5 guys' jerseys, 6 guys' jerseys. So it was great. It was a great acknowledgement. It's going to be very interesting because a lot of the players are going to be coming back, being a part of this event, tomorrow night. So it's definitely a good feeling. There's been a lot of memories with Harrisburg, good memories and bad memories. Obviously, everybody knows, obviously, I never won a championship with Harrisburg, but with, the other, accomplishments with them, it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a great night.
Now tell us a bit about how that phone call came and what was the first thing that went through your mind when you got it.
Yeah, I got the phone call. Was actually just before the season started in November, and when the general manager Dave Gamodi called me, and he mentioned to me, hey, we definitely want to retire your jersey, and basically pick some nights. Now he actually said it pretty easy, where it just kind of flowed off. For me, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. It really didn't hit me, until probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and realizing that, hey, man, I got to have a speech, So it was good, he explained to me what the night's going to be like, doing a halftime, Jerry's going to be framed, doing something at halftime, coming up early, doing some stuff with the kids, signing autographs, and, mix and mingle afterwards. And the thing on what's going to happen, I will be having an invested interest in Harrisburg Heat as well, next year, getting more involved with Hope for Life, being tied in with the Harrisburg Heat and work with the community. So it's a lot of things we did discuss. I always want to go back to Harrisburg, to actually do a lot of stuff. It was when he was telling me, I didn't realize, the amount of actually accomplishments, that I'd actually had in Harrisburg, being the number one, games played, goals scored, and so on. It's especially when you're playing, sometimes this stuff doesn't even really faze me. My main focus was trying to win a championship, but I realized that there's been a lot of history that I left behind, when I came to Baltimore.
Well, just talking about history and playing in Harrisburg, there was a time where football or indoor soccer was kind of ignored locally, and to see where it has grown to now. You think your career has vindicated some of those negative terms in which you received back in the Bermuda press during your career?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's I think what was was a lack of knowledge or understanding, about the game. At the end of the day, I think they got so caught up, a lot of media and everybody got so caught up in that, because when I was over in England, trying out in England, I think everybody would say, this guy needs to be playing outdoor. And I think they was trying to compare, and there was more of a kind of, okay, myself with Sean Goda, with Carl Leiphorn, and which was probably the wrong thing to do, because I paid it no mind. There was a lot of people saying if you play indoor, you can't play outdoor. 75% of the players that play indoor play outdoor. I mean, we just sent 2 of our players to the MLS. So it was kind of like not understanding, not knowing. And for me, my main concern was that the reason of going on is basically, keeping myself out of trouble, staying off the street. So, sometimes you have to grab those opportunities. If I had to go back and do it all over again, I'd do the same thing. It was a safe place for me. It actually saved my life, and the reality of it. I was able to basically make a living out of it. Also gave me the opportunity, to help others. And it's very interesting because many of the young players in Bermuda, we actually have a lot of players that come through Baltimore Blast. We're number one franchise, with the indoor. And the reason for me seeing these guys first, so we can now send them to the outdoor teams. So it's kind of like, I'm not coming to indoor. I always know that I always love the outdoor game. It's not saying, hey, I want all the players to play indoor. But I think there was a misunderstanding about the game. There was a misunderstanding, misguidance, but it was more kind of like, okay, let's compare who's who. and just kind of, for me, I just had to maintain my focus because I knew what the game was doing for me. Indoor, outdoor, beach soccer, volleyball, for me it did make a difference. It was something that I love to do, and I just want to make sure that I was able to provide for my family.
Let's change the subject a little bit and talk about the ISL. It took a break this year. What's your vision for the future of the Island Soccer League in Bermuda?
Great question. Yeah, as I always know, you're always coming up with something to kind of, poke at my side a little bit. Yeah, the ISL is going nowhere. What we have done is basically had to take a deep breath. This year we will be kind of putting together an ISL, basically soccer tennis tournament, for the players. There's going to be a lot of things that's going to be going on starting to back up. The main reason for taking a break, basically with the economy, but also with really kind of, grasping. I mean, we had done ISL for 5 years. So it was a matter of basically kind of really getting everybody back together. Now we have a direction, and we need to have a more of a kind of, game plan. And that game plan is already set. We already have an agreement with Joshua Glasser with Fox Soccer Channel, with a 3-year plan with them. It's a matter of, when do we basically start it back up. The biggest thing that was missing with ISL, which why, the break was being taken, is more capturing the attention of the community, making sure that a lot of the players understand the value and the importance of their roles in the community. There's a lot of things that was missing from ISL that I had to also is understanding the importance of leadership development. I can't ask for the players to go in the community if they don't understand leadership development. So it's a rebranding process and also regrouping. So, it will be coming back. So there's no doubt about that. ISL will be coming back. And it's a matter of slowly processing through, doing a lot of stuff with the youth development, doing a lot of stuff with the schools, making sure we have a good understanding. My players, every one of these players understand the importance of education, how it should be collaborating with, soccer, with entertainment and so on. So that's the key. And, so I'm actually excited where it's at. It's allowed me to actually grow as a commissioner. It's also allowed me to basically, open up some other avenues, for the players and, for the young players.